It was a chilly morning out there, but not too cold for this bald eagle who was hanging out by Forest Lake in Cumberland. An interesting fact, in the 60s, there were only a little more than 400 nesting pairs of bald eagles left, and now there are more than 70,000 pairs. Remember, you can always send us your content anytime using the Near Me section of our mobile app. Pretty cool shot there.
Absolutely. I think my dad has a couple of bald eagle feathers. If he finds a cool feather on the ground, usually he'll add it to his collection.
Cool, and yeah, you'll spot them around here. So.
Yeah, I mean, and it was pretty cold this morning when that video was taken, and it was cold this afternoon too. Here's a look at some of our high temperatures for today. A lot of us did not get out of the 30s today. Some of us did not get out of the 20s, a high of 23 today in Rangeley, a high of 36 in Bangor, a high of 35 today in Calais. Here's a look at our next storm system that will be rolling in tomorrow. Right now it's bringing some heavy snow through areas of the Great Lakes, but this system will be a good bit weaker by the time it reaches us. It is also going to be fairly windy throughout the day again tomorrow. I think wind gusts up to about 35 miles per hour, mainly out of the south, which does mean that our high temperatures tomorrow will be warmer than they were today. So we'll continue to see an increase in cloud cover overnight, and then early in the morning you may see a couple of snow flurries or snow showers around, but the heavier precipitation moves in afternoon. If you're closer to the coast, you're going to see most, if not all, rain. Again, because winds will be coming out of the south, the system will be pulling in warmer air, and therefore we're going to have rain closer to the coast. And then the rain-snow line will continue to push farther northward throughout the afternoon and evening hours, with the exception of the mountains and far northern Maine, which will remain snow for the duration of this system. And I think some of the precip could be fairly heavy around dinner time, so that's something to consider. But it does move pretty quickly. By about 10 p.m., areas of western Maine already starting to clearing out of areas of northern and down east Maine around midnight. And then Monday is a day with more sunshine, but it'll also be cold and windy. And a lot of eyes are going to be on our Tuesday storm. And we still have some things we have to iron out with this one. But first, before we get to that, I did want to just show the snowfall forecast for the system tomorrow. If you're in areas of northern Maine, mainly 1 to 3 inches, though there might be some locally heavier amounts in the mountains near the New Hampshire border. If you're closer to the coast, you're going to get most or all rain, about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain in total. So now let's talk about Tuesday. We still have to iron out exactly where that center of low pressure is going to set up, and therefore what precipitation type and how much precipitation we get. The European model, for example, has the center of low pressure a lot farther south. That means we end up with more snow, but more coastal snow, and it ends up being more of a coastally isolated event, and it's also a little bit slower. The GFS model, however, is much more robust. It has the center of low pressure much farther north, closer to Cape Cod, and we would actually see some mixed precipitation and maybe even some rain along the immediate coastline, and therefore we end up with more widespread snow through areas inland, and also therefore higher snow totals. But at this point, we're still a few days out, so there are some things we know and some things we don't. We know the general timing and the general track, that this is more likely a hit than a miss, and we know that it will affect more areas of the coast than more inland areas of the mountains. But right now we don't know the exact storm track and therefore snowfall amounts or any coastal mixing, so stick with us throughout the rest of the weekend. Marine forecast sees 3 to 6 feet. We'll take a quick look at that 7-day forecast. We'll have that system come in with some rain and snow during the day tomorrow. And then Sam, a lot of eyes are on Tuesday, therefore we'll keep an eye on it too.
All right, I'm not ready to scrape my car off every morning, but hey, don't have a choice, do we?
Hey, we're getting there. It's that time of year.
Yes, and if it's going to be cold, might as well bring on the snow.
Exactly, getting into the holiday spirit.
Yes, thank you, Dana.